Hi, I'm Liz. This is my husband, Lai. I've been coming to this church for 7 years. Lai's been here for 14 years. We've been in the kids ministry as directors for about 3 years now.
2020 started off great. We had new ideas for the e-kids, for the e-teens, for all of the kids ministry, and we had new ideas that we were going to come out with, new events. We had already talked about going to Six Flags. We had already talked about taking the kids all kinds of places. We got brand new cars. That came out of nowhere. It was just God's blessing. But for the most part, everything was going great in 2020 in the beginning. So of course 2020 took a turn whenever COVID hit. All of a sudden we didn't know what was going on, and we knew about this pandemic and wearing masks, and me and Liz, we both work in the healthcare industry. We work for one of the major hospitals in Houston, and we were frontline workers, so we were put in the mix. I think this made us stronger and more capable to take this on, and of course come with new resources for the church, and just let them know what were the new things coming out and how to be safe and how to be proactive versus reactive. So I think that was a blessing, and so far God's shown his favor over us. He's taken care of us, and he's just been there with us all along the whole way. The way we've seen God's faithfulness, he's never left us. There could have been doubts where we just got new vehicles, we just got new stuff, and all of a sudden they're talking about layoffs, and they're talking about unemployment, and they're talking about people losing their jobs. And I can't speak for everybody else, but God showed up. God showed up for us. I was working endless amounts of overtime, and God just showed up, and he was there with us. My wife, she was constantly working, and we never went without work. So I think whenever you're planted in God's route, God's gonna take you there, and God's gonna be with you, and God's gonna guide you. So I have no doubt, and me and my wife had no doubt that God was gonna be with us along the way. The impact that 2020 has had has just made us even want church even more. Having church taken away for a little bit makes you appreciate what you come to realize, that you take it on a Sunday basis, and you say, oh well, church is going to be there. I'll be there at church on Sunday. I'll see so and so on Sunday. We'll catch up next Sunday. But next Sunday isn't promised. All of a sudden it can be snatched away, and they could take it from you. And it's made me come closer with the church family, and it's made me have more of an appreciation for the church, and more of an appreciation for all the teams that work inside the church. That from production, from greeters, from everybody at the church that makes a difference in the church. And I want to also say, for the people on the fence, God puts those doors for you. God has doors, endless doors that he's putting around you, and it's up to you to open those doors. God can only put the door for you, but God can't open the door for you. That's on you. So anybody that's even thinking about joining the ministry, this is a perfect church. And we have so many servant leaders that are just ready and waiting for you, and waiting to find where you fit, and ready to take on having an extra member in their team.
I would definitely say that you just need a little bit of faith. God is always going to be there for you, and you just got to believe in him, just like we believe in him, because he's always going to be the one to provide, regardless of what situation you're in. We all go through a lot of ups and downs. Nobody's perfect, but with God, we know that everything, will come together, and eventually everything will come to pass.